All right, let's jump right into today's explainer and completely deconstruct a highly specific, rapid-fire blueprint that's designed to break you out of algorithmic stagnation. We're breaking down a source script that's basically engineered to create the ultimate 60-second guide to conquering Instagram in 2026. Now, what we have here isn't just your standard list of tips. No, it is a mechanical, ultra-precise formula that dictates everything. I mean everything, from the exact visual aesthetic you need down to the second-by-second execution of your videos. If you've been feeling like the rules of social media have just totally shifted right beneath your feet, well, this source material gives us a really fascinating, completely unapologetic look at exactly what is demanded to succeed right now. So let's unpack it. Section 1. The 2026 Instagram Dilemma. And honestly, we're kicking things off right at the absolute peak of modern creator frustration. Are you still posting every single day, but getting literally 0 followers? Man, have you felt that? It is an incredibly frustrating spot to be in. And this hits immediately in the first 5 seconds of the blueprint. It grabs your attention because it completely understands that painful reality of putting in all the work but seeing absolutely no growth. The source uses this exact question as its hook because it recognizes the ultimate modern dilemma. You're running on the content treadmill, you're doing exactly what used to work, but the return on investment has just flatlined. It's an aggressive, highly relatable opening that sets the stage for the rest of the strategy. It's basically an immediate signal telling you, hey, your current strategy might actually be obsolete and you need a radical shift. Okay, moving to section 2, the cinematic aesthetic. Because before we even touch the actual content strategy itself, we have to look at the visual instructions this source demands. Basically, the packaging is just as important as the message. To succeed in 2026, your content has to adhere to a very specific high-energy format. We're talking fast cuts, Instagram UI animations, trending creator B-roll, smartphone footage, graphs, bold kinetic captions, the whole shebang. The source actually demands what it calls a modern USA editing style. So what does that actually mean for you? Well, it means your content has to be packed with energetic zooms and those whoosh transitions. You just can't sit there and talk to the camera anymore. You need vibrant color grading, motivational background music, and layers upon layers of visual evidence. The pace has to be visually relentless. This isn't just stylistic flair either. It's a calculated visual assault designed specifically to stop the viewer's thumb from swiping away. Which brings us to Section 3, the algorithm's golden rule. Moving past all that intense visual vibe, we finally reach the foundational philosophy of this entire blueprint. The blueprint explicitly demands an absolute end to random posting. It's literally comparing posting randomly versus making sure your video is watched until the end. The source makes this crystal clear. Instagram now exclusively rewards content that viewers watch completely to the final second. That is the paradigm shift right there. It's no longer about throwing spaghetti at the wall and just hoping something sticks. Instead, it's about engineering a piece of media that is so engaging, so tightly wound that your audience simply cannot look away until the video loops. Retention is the single metric dictating your reach. If they don't watch until the very end, the algorithm just buries it. All right, Section 4, the 6-step growth playbook. Let's see how all this builds into the core mechanics where the source provides an exact sequence for you to execute. Check out this exact 6-step roadmap. A 3-second hook, 15 to 30-second reels, adding captions, 3 to 5 hashtags, 1-hour comment replies, and daily consistency. The source doesn't just hand out vague advice, it actually gives you numerical constraints for every single phase of your upload process. From the very first frame to the first hour after publishing, every single action is choreographed. Take a second to mentally digest this full life cycle because we're about to break down exactly what each of these highly demanding steps actually requires to move the needle for your growth. So, Step 1 revolves entirely around the number 3. It requires you to create a phenomenally strong hook in exactly 3 seconds. 3 seconds, that's it. That is absolutely all the grace period the 2026 algorithm is going to give you. There is zero room for slow introduction, clearing your throat, or giving a casual, hey guys, greeting. If you haven't visually and audibly captured their complete attention by the time they count to 3, boom, they are gone, and your retention rate completely tanks. Moving on, Step 2 dictates your ideal length, demanding that reels be strictly between 15 and 30 seconds long. Now, think about this for a second. The source pairs this specifically with that demand for incredibly fast editing we talked about earlier. Why this exact 15 to 30 second window? Well, because maintaining that relentless, hyper-energetic pacing as a solo creator is almost impossible to sustain over a full minute without people dropping off. So, by condensing your entire message into this hyper-dense package, you drastically maximize the probability that the viewer will stay until the end, perfectly satisfying that golden rule of the algorithm. Step 3 brings us to a critical viewer habit: add captions, because many people watch without sound. Think about how you probably consume content yourself, right? Sitting on a commute, in a waiting room, or late at night in bed. The source points out that since so many people watch entirely on mute, those bold, kinetic captions are completely mandatory. If your video relies entirely on its audio to deliver the hook and the value, you're literally losing a massive segment of your potential audience right out of the gate. Those kinetic captions aren't just for looking cool. They are a strict accessibility requirement for the silent scroller. Step 4 is a massive shift in how we understand categorization. We are comparing using just 3 to 5 relevant hashtags against the old habit of stuffing 30 hashtags at the bottom of your post. The strategy is now purely about precision. The blueprint explicitly states you have to abandon that old keyword stuffing method. You are restricted to just 3 to 5 highly relevant tags. What this tells us is that the algorithm has evolved. It's looking for sharp, accurate categorization. Giving the system 3 laser-focused tags helps it categorize your content perfectly, whereas throwing 30 tags at it just confuses the machine. Step 5 introduces the number 1, specifically a tight 1-hour window. This step shifts the focus away from content creation and straight into immediate community management, giving you exactly 1 hour to reply to every single comment. The source notes this is designed specifically to boost engagement, meaning your job is definitely not done the second you hit publish. You are on the clock. You have to be present and active the moment that reel goes live. This artificially boosts your initial engagement metrics during those crucial first 60 minutes, directly signaling to the algorithm that your post is sparking a real, active conversation. And Step 6 delivers the ultimate, heavy-hitting rule of the entire playbook. The source says, stay consistent. Post at least one high-quality reel every day. This is really where the true weight of the blueprint hits you. It proves that mastering this algorithm requires totally relentless daily output. And notice it doesn't just say, post every day. It specifically says, high quality. That means you have to maintain that vibrant color grading, the fast cuts, those perfect 3-second hooks, and that rapid-fire engagement every single day, completely without fail. So, we now know the exact visual aesthetic, the rigid, data-driven steps, and the incredible daily dedication the source prescribes. It is a highly optimized, incredibly intense machine. It totally strips away the romance of just posting whenever you feel inspired, replacing it with a calculated, high-speed formula engineered purely for algorithmic victory. Which really leaves us with one incredibly provocative final thought. As the rules of the platform become this demanding and this mathematically precise, are we actually still creating content for human beings, or have we simply become the most efficient employees of the algorithm itself?